Hello, friends. Today we are talking origin stories. So grab a cup of coffee, a hot cup of cocoa, a blanket, and let's dive in to figure out how the heck I became an audiologist and a private practice owner. Hello, friends. I'm Dr. Maria Morrison, audiologist. I'm your expert in hearing healthcare. And little secret, I didn't always want to be an audiologist. I know it's true. When I was growing up, I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I changed my major probably 20 times, so much so that my friends from high school made a music video about how many times I changed my mind. And I just knew I wanted to help people. I knew I wanted to be in healthcare. I thought I had finally settled on speech language pathology. I thought, well, I like to talk, I'll help people talk. And so it turns out in undergrad, speech pathology and audiology take the same classes. And I found myself kind of being really gravitated towards the audiology classes and not so much the speech path. And so I changed my major, which I'm so glad I did because I love what I do. And then when I had my very first job out of college, I worked at a hospital. And I love to pretend that I was the head of the department when in actuality, I was. I was the only audiologist in this small community hospital. So here I am, new graduate, fresh out of school, running an audiology department by myself, which was great. And then after about a year, I got bored. I learned very on that I like a challenge. I want to problem solve. I want to do things. I don't want to just kind of see the same types of patients in and out every single day. And that's really what it was. It was all elderly, sensorineural hearing loss Medicaid patients. There was no difference between all of them. And so when it's like that, you get one choice of hearing aid. And so it just wasn't very challenging for me. So I took a part-time job to save money for my wedding and found myself at a private practice in Hinsdale, which I had never had any experience at a private practice. In fact, when I was in college, I literally said I would never work in a private practice. Why would anybody want so much risk? Well, never say never, right, folks? So yeah, so found myself working part-time at a private practice to save money for my wedding and found that I loved it. I loved that if you wanted to change something or do something, you just did it. Whereas at the hospital, I had to go through layers and layers and layers of people to say, yes, you can go ahead and buy new pens. I mean, it's just kind of crazy, right? And so a colleague of mine, Rich Bickbick, who actually was my supervisor when I was a student at another hospital, was working at this private practice. And so I told him, I said, you know what? I want to open my own practice. I think I'm going to do it. He said, I want to do it. And so we did it together. And so here we are, 18, almost 19 years later. We co-own Geneva Hearing Services. We recently purchased another practice in Downers Grove called the Hearing Care Clinic, which was owned by an amazing audiologist, Nancy Cogden, and who owned it for 20 years. And now we get to continue her legacy in the Downers Grove area. But that's just kind of where I came from and how I came to be where I'm at. I think if there are any audiology students watching this and you are interested in private practice or at least learning more about private practice, to reach out to a private practice audiologist. We love what we do and we certainly want to encourage other students to consider it. Private practice is not for everyone, right? Not everyone has the drive and the motivation and the patience and the desire to grow and learn to be in private practice, to own a private practice. But certainly if that sounds like you should definitely look into it. All right, friends, have a great day. Bye-bye.